So I mentioned I started my career in consulting, and I think I knew at the end of my first 2 years in consulting that I wanted to become a PM, but it's really hard, as John alluded, to become a PM without tech or kind of product management experience. So I opted for an adjacent product role in product ops, which mostly exists in really large companies, FANG companies. So I kind of eliminated startups for my targeting. And with products, what's cool is you get to work directly with product teams. So in my case, I got to work with IGTV and Reels at Instagram, and I got to own more operational and kind of execution related items on the roadmap. So things around like improving our recommendations, ranking quality, things like that. And within 3 months of being on IGTV, I knew I for sure wanted to be a PM. So I reached out to the PM on my team and my manager and started asking, like, how can I make this happen? And there were 3 kind of big things that helped me. The first was really networking within the company to learn more about the PM role and being able to actually ask people to shadow and see what their day-to-day was like. And once I had shadowed them, I felt comfortable actually asking to take on aspects of their role. So if I wanted to lead a product review or kind of an aspect of a product discussion, I would be able to do so. The next thing I found was preparing for the interview loops is really key, and getting kind of hard feedback from people who've been through the process, especially the company you're targeting. So what I found is if I could pass the PM loop at Meta, probably that bar was pretty high and I could pass it at other companies. So I really found that network of PMs at Meta who believed in me and wanted to coach me, and then use that to prep a lot for the product sense, product execution, and behavioral interview loops. So with that, I then applied externally as well as internally to the RPM process. And kind of my first mistake was only applying internally to RPM, and I didn't get it. But then the second year, I ended up applying externally as well as internally. And having kind of gone through those interview steps and feeling really confident about the practice loops I had done, I was able to get offers at Pinterest, Spotify, Masterclass, and ultimately decided that I loved the mission of democratizing access to education to everyone and wanted to be at a smaller company and kind of help build the future of online learning around like a social community. So that drew me to Masterclass. But yeah, in general, I think you got to be super persistent, keep networking, and it's really about doing those mock interviews to make yourself feel confident for your first interview.